time. Allen Iverson, he's AI. He's going to bring his game. Take all of those things into account and the home court advantage, and that place is going to be rocking. I'm here to tell you that right now. That crowd,
like his life, it's been a fight all the way. Now comes his biggest game. This time, he takes comfort in the notion that he's not fighting alone.
I understand that every time I go on the court, I go out there with 4 other players. And, you know, to be a team, you know, that means everything because you can have that bad night in Game 7 and still win.
His presence on the floor alone opened up things for, you know, other guys on the floor. So that alone, you know, he's the difference maker. I hope he's excited about it. I hope he feels good about it. I don't want any of these guys to worry about anything but just going out and doing the best they can and having a good time.
Iverson appears to have rediscovered his shooting touch at exactly the right time. He's still converting only 30% of his attempts from the field against Milwaukee. But he is coming off a 26-point fourth quarter outburst in Game 6 that could pay dividends in Game 7.
In the last quarter, I caught a little rhythm, you know, that I was waiting on. Now my confidence level was, I mean, it never left, but, you know, it's up a little bit more now. You know, I feel better about my shots.
The big, most significant thing is he went to the goal, and he figured out if they're going to play on his right hand, he can go left. He's so quick. Anybody with quickness, if they're going to force you one way, anybody as quick as this kid is, he can get a shot.
He's been struggling all series, so he had to come alive at some point in time. Hopefully he got it out of his system and we can keep him down for Game 7.
If you know, Allen can still, you know, have that same aggressive nature that he had in the fourth quarter, and if he's getting the looks and driving to the basket, it's just going to make it easier for other guys.
Even if Iverson's drives in Game 7 don't produce his shot the way they did late in Game 6, just the sight of him in the lane could spell trouble for Milwaukee. In Game 7 against Toronto, Iverson hit only 8 shots from the field, but he did use his penetration skills to hand out 16 assists. In Philadelphia, I'm Josie Karp.
Allen found the shooting eye. Allen Iverson to win 110-100 and force a decisive Game 7.
Still plenty of time, over 7.5 minutes left.
Mike, I think that Bill wants to get on with that championship and get to L.A.
Iverson. Looks like Iverson does for sure. To get in this town, Wilt Chamberlain, Dr. J, Moses Malone, and now Allen Iverson. Charles Barkley, throw him into that list. Iverson's done it all. He's got 42 points. 7 assists, 5 rebounds. The smallest guy in the court has played the biggest of games. And that's what the MVP is all about. That's been the difference here. Until the final buzzer. And Iverson has enjoyed every minute here at the First Union Center throughout this season of the playoffs. What a player. And many thought that scene would not happen. Those two, look at the smiles, that hug. They had one of those hugs before the game started, just as Iverson walked onto the court. Larry Brown will get his first chance in the NBA Finals. 28 years total as a coach in both the pros and in college. And now he gets to battle for an NBA champion. He applied for a job when Brown was with the Nets 20 years ago, and he got turned down.
Well, he's got his material if that's what he wanted.
And a terrific battle, 7 games, and also have to give credit to the Bucks. Their most wins in 15 years, a wonderful season, but it will end in disappointment here in Philadelphia. Final seconds at the First Union Center. And for the first time in 18 years, the Sixers are going back to the NBA Finals.
worked hard all season. We became a team from day one, and I just feel good about this. I mean, without my teammates, no way this would be possible. Coach and the rest of the coaching staff, the fans in Philadelphia, without those people, none of it would be possible. I'm just glad to share it with them.
There was just a wonderful embrace between you and your family and Larry Brown right here and his family. Talk a little bit how you two have come together.
I love him, you know. He made me so much stronger, you know, as a person and a basketball player. And he helped me all through my career ever since he got here. And I'm just glad, you know, to play under Coach Brown. He's a great coach. He's the best coach in the league, best coach in the world. And I'm glad to have the opportunity to play for him.
Alan, congratulations. We look forward to seeing you in the finals. Larry, you have dedicated your life to this game. 29 years, 9 stops. Now you're in the NBA Finals. How do you evaluate that?
Doesn't get much better than this when you consider, you know, what this team's been through. To have Alan play like he did. Oh, obviously we wouldn't be here. I mean, he had a phenomenal year. He's become, you know, not only a great player, but an unbelievable teammate. And just his will to win is what this team's about. But I think he'd be the first to tell you, we had a lot of guys, I think, you know, allow us to get here.
I had the opportunity to change everything around by just doing the little things, you know, being the first one to practice, last one to leave sometimes. You know, just trying to set a good example. You know, my whole thing was just to try to be a professional and, you know, take care of that part of it. And, you know, I felt like if I did all of the little things, then I can look in the mirror after the season over. And if we won it or not, you know, say that I did all I could. And that's the way I feel right now. And, you know, I think when you work hard, you know, good things happen. Obviously so, we're going to the finals.
And that's why his teammates respect him so much. He's so tough. When he took that ball and hurt his hand, that was only his left hand. He didn't get that hand the rest of the game. So he's just such a competitor, and his teammates love him.
Now you got the little guy, Allen Iverson. I call him Speed Racer. Sometimes even hydroplanes as he comes down the floor. With that quickness and toughness, well, those two guys could be very tough.
And they're led by the irrepressible Allen Iverson. Don't give up on them until the game is over.
They supposed to feel that way. But there's a flip side to that. You know, we didn't make this long trip just to come down here and roll over and die. I mean, we're going to play every one of these games like it's our last. Because we don't know, you know, that we'll ever get this opportunity again.
In the span of 8 months, Allen Iverson has gone from controversial figure with his rap CD to NBA Most Valuable Player to cult hero. He led the league in points per game, led the league in steals per game, second in the league in minutes played, and probably led the league in bumps and bruises per game. But every time he got knocked down, Iverson would get up. He may have walked like this when he got up, but he got up. As Sal Palantonio reports, he really is the Sixers warrior.
Allen's always going to take it. You know, that's why, you know, he's a warrior.
You get in, be in a war in one series, and then you got to prepare yourself to be in another war.
Boy, Allen Iverson really dogging Ray Allen. Nearly had the steal. Now Iverson is down.
I didn't think the referees was going to let me come back out because I kept spitting out so much blood. And, you know, my teammates, my coach was telling me I had to get back on the floor.
The lasting image of Philadelphia's improbable run through these playoffs begins and ends with the intrepid Allen Iverson.
This guy takes a beating night in and night out. You know, he's on the floor all game long. He's getting hit on his head and, you know, getting his teeth knocked out.
I never think about injuries anyway because I play in a reckless style. And I like to, you know, go in there with the big guys and just, you know, knock me down and just get back up.
I think that can be a little demoralizing for a defender because you always think he's going to stop at some point, but Allen never does.
A badly bruised tailbone, a sprained hip, a tooth knocked out with blood spewing on the floor. Through it all, Allen Iverson at 160 pounds may have proven that pound for pound, He's the toughest guy in professional sports.
This guy, he's just tough. He's got heart, and I think he's got a mental toughness second to none.
I don't know how he does it. You know, he doesn't have, you know, too much meat on his bones, but, you know, it's his heart.
I just know how to play the game. And I don't play with, you know, my size. You know, I just play with my heart. And I think I have one of the biggest hearts, you know, in this league. And, you know, that's what helps me get over 9 times out of 10. It's just playing with my heart.
Iverson's toughness can be traced back to his hard life growing up in Virginia and his days as a two-way player on his high school football team, which he led to the state championship twice.
You ever notice how many times Allen gets knocked down during a basketball game? How many times do you see him just lay there on the floor? That was one thing that we understood as football players. One, you never let the opponent know that you're hurt.
You out on the playground and guys push you around when you're the smaller guy. You know, you have to fight back. You have to earn your respect in the streets, and that's how he was raised, and that's where his toughness comes from.
He is the toughest guy I know. That's why we love him. I mean, you gotta love him, not only his basketball prowess, but he's fearless.
All that I've been through this year, my body can't take one more series. There's something wrong.
Wide. He's a one-man fast break. He's an erratic but dangerous three-point shooter. He can penetrate into the paint, pull up jump shot, get the floater from 10 feet, find his open teammates, and when he gets to the basket, he can score even though he gets knocked down. He has unbounded energy. He's an amazing little guy and the spiritual leader of his team.
One of the Lakers even told me he's not a great shooter, but Allen Iverson is a great scorer, and there is a difference. Let's go back to the studio.
About to begin. The consummate David is ready to challenge the ultimate Goliath. Allen Iverson, what he lacks in size, he more than makes up with in heart. And MVP season is proof of that. Just ask him. He'll tell you. Shaquille O'Neal, the warrior, power personified, striving to lead the Lakers to another NBA title. Who thinks they can stop this imposing force? For 5 seasons, Iverson has answered the challenge numerous times, but will this test be too daunting? Only his spirit can raise him to ultimate glory. But Shaq is not about to relinquish his grasp on basketball's greatest prize. David, Goliath, only one will be NBA champion. Valuable player, Allen Iverson, who comes off a spectacular 44-point game against Milwaukee on Sunday, plus the Defensive Player of the Year, Dikembe Mutombo, who has been on a tear during this postseason, but now must contend with the premier center in the league. There are many subplots.
Attacks to the basket. His team feeds off this kind of attack to the basket, scoring over bigger players, taking hard fouls, stepping up and making free throws, and even when he misses, it's important for him to get his shots because they live off the offensive rebounds. A key for them is second chance points. And when Iverson is good, he's very good. This is why they feel very good that he can throw up one of these kind of nights and lead his team to victory. But you know what? It's just not.
Allen Iverson continue to get knocked down and get up to lead the Sixers. He'll be going up against the Laker team looking to win their 20th straight game, and all that stands between them and another title is a Sixer club which refuses to go down easily.